All right, welcome everyone to the ELO Hell group stages. In fact, coming here today, it is going to be I Toasty, joined here by R Diggy. We've got Speed Boost versus Atria here today. And R Diggy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Here from the Pacific Coast in the US of A, so had to get up a little bit early for this, but you know what? I'm here to see some good EU goodness here today. I've always loved how EU players play, so definitely excited to see what these guys can bring today.
Yeah, I mean, as a British person myself, I have a pretty good notion of how EU players play, and sometimes it's quite Papega. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I mean,
There's a
I
lot
bring
of
the Papega. I love the Papega. Bring it all today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's EU for you. I mean, there's the whole joke of like NA production, NA host, NA scrims, that kind of stuff. But like, generally, I think EU is the more disorganized region. So today will be a chaotic game to say the least.
Yes, and we are going to be broadcasting two games today. First off is this Team Speed Boost versus Atria, and then later on down the line, we will also be broadcasting another game from the rookie division as well. But these two teams, they are in the intermediate division, which means they have a 3.5 SR average between the two. So yeah, you can see it on screen right here. Later on will be Invades Coast Breakers versus Orthis, but right now focusing on these two teams in the intermediate right now.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that I personally have never seen before. Not sure about you, Diggy, but like you said, we're looking at a kind of, I guess, average of the Overwatch community type skill level, where it's diamond-ish. So we aren't looking at the top level of gameplay, but it is still going to be serviceable. And today, sorry, go on.
I mean, you say average, they're still like way better than me. So
Yeah,
sorry.
same here, but average for the community.
Yeah, you're totally right about that. The first map we are going to be playing on is going to be Nepal here for the first map, and then from there it's going to be a first to three series. From after control, we're going to be moving on to different game modes such as hybrid, escort, assault. But for this first map, we are going to be starting on Nepal, and I'm excited because control is always one of those game modes where you really do get to see a big variety in a lot of cases, especially with the different layouts that the maps have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, talking about Nepal as well, Team Speed Boost were, well, I think both these teams were asked their favorite maps in each kind of category. Team Speed Boost, their favorite control map is Lijiang or Nepal. So they are on a kind of favorite pick for them coming into this first game here. I think that might either be an advantage or, maybe if Atria can match that, then it's not as much of an advantage. But it's a favorite map, so take from that what you will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or Li Zhang. So this probably means to me that they do like to run a bit more, maybe like Pharah spam compositions with either Wrecking Ball or Orisa, while the other, I think, other team, the Team Atria, they like Ilios as their control map. So a bit more maybe rush dive for them. We can't really infer a whole lot just based off of the information that we're given, but that's why I'm so excited to get into game and see what these teams have to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick go through the rosters here for each of the teams. Speed Boost are going to be fielding Lord, CFman29, Gremory Drago, Donor, Dirtmaster, and Void as their roster. And then below that, obviously, Atria are going to be fielding Anti, who is a name I recognize, or Ante, as they want to pronounce, SpongeBob, Ryan Uvader, Twisted, Roar, and Toby. So both of these teams, I mean, I recognize a couple of names there, but not too many, so not too much to go off.
I'm glad to see SpongeBob is finding some work after his show has ended. It's just love to
Oh, wait,
see.
you care to enlighten me?
Yeah, I just love the SpongeBob team tag name. It's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. But what are you expecting to see on the poll here, Oddy?
Well, yeah, depending on what maps we see first coming off is I think Nepal, like I said, I think it's a map that heavily favors like spam compositions. So I want to see some Pharah, I want to see some Wrecking Ball, maybe some BAP or Zenyatta to start things off. If we are going to be going to maybe a more closed-in map like Village, you know, we might be able to see some sim TP rush with the Reinhardt and the Diva. But like I said, a lot of variety on control maps. So teams, and especially in a meta like this where there's really not like a defined set meta, teams are free to run basically whatever they want. Heck, teams might even come out and run Roadhog for all we know. I hope it happens. It's probably not, but I hope it happens.
Oh, I mean, it'd be hella funny. They're not as bound by the kind of laws of Overwatch in this kind of rank, right? You can play basically anything, and as long as you're good at it, you can get away with it. And like you said, that Roadhog could come out, but we could see some other stuff.
Oh, we are starting off in Village.
And we are starting off in Village, yeah, so closed in, like you said.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what these teams pick here. Starting off, they probably are going to be rushing towards that high ground area that you know, the stairs lead up to, and then brawling on that high ground before dropping down to points. But that really depends on the strategy that they're going for. If you are going for more like maybe a Symmetra teleport strategy, then your objective would first to be get onto points, set up your sim turrets and stuff like that, and then try to brawl on point and try to sustain through it. But alright, Team Speed Boost, you're gonna... Okay, they are gonna switch off of this. They had a funky comp kind of going on right here, but... Okay, they are gonna be switching to more of a... And both teams here, actually, is gonna be starting off on a Symmetra rush composition.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's, I think, standard for this map, as you see SpongeBob go over to the Cowboy now, so a bit of an interesting swap there. So you're going to be going to poke against the Symmetra, which is going to be quite difficult here. As Speed Boost, they're already in on the point, they have the opportunity to kind of set up with these Symmetra turrets, and potentially put some damage in. It looks like a rotation coming through here, actually, from Atria. They're going to go around the other side, walk them through to catch anything there for CF, man. Instead, it's going to try and get the neutral freeze coming through. A lot of damage, actually, onto Ryan Vader and Anti, who have to just get out of there as quickly as possible. And the Celtic field actually invested by both squads, so they're just going ham at each other. But Gremory's coming up close towards this shatter, and it could be huge, but they get walled off there. Ante is going to get taken out, but that trade comes through the Cowboy, hitting the shot onto Void. And why not? Just let a slam loose from Ryan Vader. And it looks like Atria will get clear after the initial cap from Speed Boost.
Yes, Team Speed Boost got the initial, you know, control of the point, but I think it was really the wall from Ante and then the window from Toby. He built that ultimate up really quickly. Void's only at 85%, so Toby was putting in some serious healing for his team, so he got the window up, managed to get that window down and put in some damage. But now we're going to be once again brawling on the point here. Nice wall from the CF man.
Oh, and what a slam coming through there. Gremory gets 3 down to the ground. Ante is going to be the first one to fall yet again in this team fight. Speed Boost, they're happy to just follow up on that. Some Rhine swings will do the trick. And they'll get control straight back here.
Yeah, gotta appreciate... Oh, this stagger is hard to watch. Please, let him play the game. But yeah, always appreciated to see a good slam, a Reinhardt slam. That's such a hard ultimate to get value out of nowadays. But you know, if you guys are in the right type of you know, team environment, then Shatter is such a massive ultimate, especially at the start of a team fight like that. And now they're going to be brawling on the high ground again. Looks like Team Speed Boost is not going to let Atria easy off here.
Yeah, that is a brilliant wall coming through, as well as a blizzard that follows up from it, as well as a slam. So a ton of ultimates being invested here by Speed Boost, and they use the bomb as well. That's 4, I believe 5 invested here by Speed Boost. And, well, I mean, they're in one-fight territory, but all they have for this next fight is a Symmetra wall.
Yeah, the thing about using all your ultimates is usually you want to let the team fights last, or, you know, they want to end the team fight as soon as possible. But yeah, that allows for, you know, ultimates to be built up on Atria's side, and not a whole lot for Team Speed Boost here. They could use this Symmetra wall to try to mitigate some damage, but if you have a composition like this, you're not going to be mitigating a whole lot. Alright, they are going to be
might be able to catch the Diva out here, actually. They go for the Blizzard, but it gets eaten up. Donor, brilliant reaction time there. Ryan Vader will try and go for a Hail Mary shatter, but it just doesn't land onto anything, and SpongeBob will end up falling. Speed Boost, they still have the tempo to try and get in here onto the enemy Reinhardt. Ryan Vader just wants to try and stay alive in the face of an Amplification Matrix. That's just not going to happen here. And Speed Boost, they are looking dominant on Village. They just got to clean up now.
Yeah, this was a pretty dominant showing. Obviously, I love the way that Team Speed Boost dealt with the different rotations that Atria was making, you know, whether they were teleporting behind them. You know, they just managed to keeping your players alive in order to get either window or some type of shatter to, you know, to really close out team fights. Really good job from them. And now we're going to be moving on to the pit map here. And this is a map where you can also play Sim Rush, but it's actually a lot more preferable to play other strategies as well. And that's what, like I said, what I love about Control. You can see something different here. Atria might be thinking about moving on to Dive with Tracer Sombra. You know, also very powerful combination. CF Man, stop teasing me with the Bastion. I swear, every time he has the Bastion on screen, it gives me a little bit of hope. But no, they're also going to be going with Winston Rush with the Reaper Sombra.
So both sides playing a Winston here, but it ends up being the kind of Tracer versus Reaper duel here, as well as like Diva versus Atria. So very intricate compositional differences here, but it'll end up, well, in fact, in a boom for Reinnovator. That is huge coming through there from Dirtmaster. Pretty much wins the fight off the back of that, I think, as long as Speed Boost don't get overzealous, which they don't look like they will.
Yeah, I mean, the Reinhardt
Unless they will, big anti.
Yeah, you gotta cap the point here, guys. Come on. This isn't Overwatch 2 yet. It's not Team Deathmatch yet.
Oh, that is a huge anti coming through, though. That's the second one we've had from Toby so far. It immediately takes out Lord and Void, and they'll end up falling. Twisted with a bubble in as well onto Ryan Yaveda, who, well, can just get the cleave damage through onto the enemy tank line. And this is a situation, again, where Atria, they retake control after losing that kind of first engagement.
Yeah, a bit too overzealous there. Atria's comp here is really designed to try to... They're more poke-oriented. Their backline is designed to like be more self-sustaining, while Team Speed Boost is all in, as their name implies. Actually, they're this kind of rush style of composition. You know, they're putting their baskets all into their DPS and Winston here. But okay, contesting the point a little bit. This allows some space to be given.
Oh, Toby falls though. The Honor's gone. The Graviton Surge will be infested, and everyone's caught in it as Speed Boost. They have to call to keep themselves alive because Dirtmaster does not have that B online. Ryan Yaveda just able to, with the help of that rally, just get up in their faces. EMP will come through though, as well as this bomb to see if it can catch anything. It doesn't, but it's the Remake instead. Takes out Roar, and now this will be another fight where it just flips back into Speed Boost's control.
It's interesting to me that Coalescence was cast at the same time as Brig Rally Armor. You can really see kind of the disparity between like both the healers, the main healers, as they, you know, they're trying to heal up their team here. Toby has Nano for this next engagement, which is going to be critical if they want to. Okay, Ants just goes
That's a brilliant first pick. It gets rid of the EMP, and now Speed Boost, they can just Speed Boost in. Goes for that Death Blast, and Lord's going to catch 2. Finds 3 as well onto that Zarya. So much damage coming through from that Reaper, and it's all off of the back of that first pick.
Man, Toby's doing some great work here on the Ana with the sleeps and the nades. Definitely setting his team up for success. But like I said, now they are going to be, you know, kind of switching. They do have the ultimate stuff. Good thing about that team fight is that it didn't last very long, so they're able to get in now. Trying to poke their way into here. Void is going to heal them up. Oh, he's been caught out.
You might want to go for it. Yep, 3 with that EMP, but Ante falls instead. Pulse Bomber onto Gremlin to try and take them out, and they do manage to stay alive through that. It's a 1-for-1 trade. This Cole could be the difference maker, though. Graviton Surge will come through. That's a lot of damage that's going to go into that. But Twisted and SpongeBob are the ones to fall instead here. Speed Boost. They've turned an unwinnable situation into a win.
Yeah, a bit of a throw EMP there. It did not look like the rest of his team was coordinated to follow up on that, and then they ended up wasting ultimates to try to salvage the situation. Looks like Ryan is going to be able to touch points here just for a little bit. He's all on his own though. He is able to get the boot, but he is not going to. Dirtmaster is not going to be falling into the pit today. Pepper is going to desperately try to get onto point here, but Speed Boost looking pretty strong right now.
Absolutely, Speed Boost. I mean, the name checks out, right? They played with such a fast tempo there, Diggy. And here we'll see the play of the game from Lord on the Reaper as well, who was a force to be reckoned with throughout a lot of this, especially with this very nice play with the Death Blossom coming through. Just so much aggression.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great, obviously knowing when to pop such a risky ultimate right there. And now we have a question for on our hands is what is Atria going to be doing now? What map are they going to be picking here going into hybrid? They have a couple options. They have Numbani, Kings Row, and Eichenwald available for them right now in terms of this next selection. If I'm looking at game one and I see that, I'm kind of getting outmatched in, Team Speed Boost, they want to be playing more of this rush style. I feel like when they were playing the Winston composition, they were playing the rush based Winston composition with like the Lucio Moira. So maybe do you want to try to slow things down, play more poke, or do you want to maybe try to go all in on the rush to try to, match them? I think Atria's got a couple options here to really think about.
Yeah, there's a variety of ways to play against this kind of fast-paced style that Speed Boost have been showing us, and you named a couple of them there. I mean, if I was in this game right now and I had to make that executive decision, I would probably just mirror that kind of fast-paced style. I know Atria didn't look too good on it, but they were playing double bubble. That is a slow-paced composition, and if that didn't work for them, I don't think anything else slow-paced is what they need to go towards. I think they need to try and match Speed Boost in their speed and hope for the best with that.
Which is why you go all in. You pick Kings Row. That's what I would do. Just you channel the goat's energy. Is what I envision. If I like you said, if I was part of this team, I would just be like, let's just try to play rush. Let's just do it. You know what I mean? Nothing to lose here.
Not at all. And I mean, King's Row as well. I mean, it's not like it's just a brawl one-trick map either. You can run some like
it should be a
six-man type
map.
It should, but it isn't. Unfortunately, you can play some six-man on there if you get creative, which is something that Speed Boost did play just. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could theoretically play, I don't know, maybe like Winston Rush, but then you'd be hurling insults at the rest of the Overwatch community by not playing Reinhardt on that map. It's quite insulting. But it looks like the next map is instead going to be Eichenwald. So you could play still Rush here, but you could also, like I said, play a bit more spam compositions, maybe some Wrecking Ball, or some, double shield with Orisa here. It's going to be interesting to see what Atria's game plan here is going forward.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting because Eichenwald is a map where, unlike King's Row, you can actually run a variety of stuff. You mentioned before in the pre-game that there is some far opportunities in some of these maps, and Eichenwald, on second point specifically, flyers are just so hard to deal with, especially if you're not at like a Masters Plus level. So these teams could potentially play some like Echo, some Pharah, that kind of composition on Eichenwald if they really wanted to.
Yeah, definitely a lot of options here, but it is going to be interesting because when you go into third point, it definitely does favor a whole lot more of rush. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens on third point. I would even say on first point, even specifically, I would say that flyers such as Pharah and Echo are really favored because you have the pillar to kind of play around in the middle where Pharah can just kind of dominate. We've seen teams in the past who are of like a higher level just kind of dominate with Pharah and Echo on that map, on that portion. And then from the rest of there, like second point, Castle, so nice to be able to have heroes that can easily get onto that castle high ground and just, keep position there and then just kind of rain down damage. Like I said, Eichenwald is a very interesting map.
Absolutely. I mean, it comes down at the end of the day to the stylistic differences between these two teams and what they like to play. Obviously, Speed Boost, we know they love to play that kind of fast-paced style, so they are going to opt towards stuff that probably isn't that far, right? Because that is slow-paced. You're accumulating damage over the team fight. And I reckon if we're going to see anything from Atria, it just has to be either something that hard counters the monkey, which would be like a Tor cowboy type of composition, or you're going to see just like a counter fast-paced comp.
Yeah, with the Torb and Cowboy, I would love to see. I've seen some brilliant stuff being. I mean, Cowboy Deadeye is so good on second point, especially because you get like just that high ground view of basically everything, and you could just like whip your camera around and get like, I don't know, 3 kills just off of viewing the entire map from high ground. So yeah, I definitely would love to see that. If you are playing more rush, however, I would say, I mean, Cowboy is good. Symmetra is also good to maybe want to get your team onto high ground more easily if you don't want to take like stairs or anything. But yeah, I mean, this now that we actually are in game, we get to see what these teams want to run. I believe that Speed Boost is attacking first. Yes.
Yep. Speed Boost is attacking first, and we'll end up seeing
Okay, here we
if
go.
they actually live up to their name here. And yeah, this is the similar stuff we were talking about, the Pharah.
Yeah, SpongeBob on the Tracer is pretty interesting, I would say. He's going to be that distraction that is really going to allow Ante to try to, or Ante is to try to, you know, get some damage in. This is really a really poke-based composition with the Rhino Vader on the Orisa as well.
Are they expecting the Widow Cowboy, though?
I'm not expecting it, so I doubt they are. If this actually comes out, I think CF is probably just going to try to go for, you know, a Widow jump shot, maybe to start things off, or to see if the Pharah is really there. We'll see if he sticks onto it, but I doubt it. They are. It look like Team Speed Boost wants to run. I don't know. I think they're still shooting. They're sticking with.
They're not sticking.
Rush.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. CF goes to mid.
Yeah, so this is difficult because CF Man on Mei won't be able to put as much pressure onto Ante as, you know, perhaps Lord can, or perhaps any other hero could. But that's a brilliant first kill coming through there. Dinks up the enemy Tracer. I can tell you as a Mei player myself, that feels good. And Ante's going to have to try and force him back with that Concussive Blast and deal some damage through the rotation. But Twisted is kind of out of position, going to get gunned down slowly but surely. And Speed Boost, they've just got to try and get in here and kill a couple more players. Ante's going to fall there, Lord hitting the shots, the Peacekeeper reigns true. Res comes through, but it's not going to matter. Backline's so out of position here for Atria, and this should be a cap for Speed Boost.
Yeah, once that Tracer is down for the count, there's really nothing to kind of, other than the Pharah, to kind of stop Team Speed Boost from advancing here onto the Orisa. You realize how, I mean, you realize how quickly they had to back up once their Tracer was caught out. And then Ante, I mean, he built up a barrage, so he did get a good amount of damage in. Oh my gosh, is he gonna get caught out here? I don't think so.
Potentially. I mean, there's a little stat graphic there for you. Lord has half of their team's kills right now, so... well, I think it's about half. I think it's 3 out of 7, I'm not entirely sure, but it is very close to that. It's now... This high ground control is going to be very important for Atria to get, but they're immediately going to get pushed onto. SpongeBob just gets slammed up and bursted immediately as this bomb from Twisted tries to even things up. And Ante's in the back can go for a barrage if they really want to, but they're just not in position to do so. And now Lord on this Cowboy can start forcing them back, and, well, Ante lost that opportunity right there.
Yeah, I mean, Ante's, you know, he's sticking back here because he's being putting pressure on. Okay, whoa, that is a massive barrage. I was just about to say how, you know, Ante is not being able to capitalize on, you know, the Team Speed Boost going after the rest of his team right there, but he just kind of presses Q and kills 4 people there. All right, Team Speed Boost, they do have plenty of ultimates to work with. However, Atria is going to have a damage booster, or 2 damage boosters if you count Window, so they will be able to hold back some of the aggression here. Looks like Team Speed Boost is going to be sticking onto Cart for the meantime. Not too much pressure on them right now, but CF Man does get caught out.
Yeah, Ante managing to get that Mei out early, and without that, I mean, Speed Boost, that competition loses all of its you know, stock, right? And genuinely, that Mei has so much utility that you just got to back out and wait.
Yeah, Mei's not that good at, you know, dealing with the Pharah, obviously, like you said. Oh, no, dirt. This is one of those situations where you're just kind of, you know, you have a game plan of what you want to do, but the Pharah just keeps messing with it by getting random picks. They obviously have a game plan of where they want to go on Car. I think they want to try to go like through the back of Car and up the staircase right there to be able to meet with Orisa there, but the Deadeye is going to find out Ante.
Awful timing from Ante there, gets caught by the High Noon right as they use those boosters, and Lord gets another kill as well there onto Toby. Now this high ground control is going to be here for Speed Boost, and they're going to try and get in, maybe kill off SpongeBob on the Cowboy, but unable to really get in there. Instead they'll settle for the D-Mech. And this, I mean, that's a kill onto Baby Diva. They should be able to start pushing the cart now, but there will be a solid recontest.
Deadeye from
Maybe even right now,
SpongeBob.
actually. Yeah, I mean, it's a wasted High Noon. Finds absolutely nothing there, but at least Twisted might be back
in
in
panic
time.
a little. It's the mind games
Wait,
coming out from
C9?
SpongeBob.
Are they gonna touch the point? I mean, they're gonna try and get there in time as they'll finally be on it. And now Ante's gonna go in the backline with the barrage. It has to get Matrix though, but unable to really happen. Instead, it's gonna be Twisted with the bomb as well, cleaning up house. And yeah, in the middle of the chaos, you can't do much about that barrage. I mean, Boy's gonna try and turn this around, but too many resources here for Atria.
Yeah, you're right. Atria almost did beef that up a little bit. I think they were trying to fake it out, but there was just enough. You say that only 4 meters left until they had lost the second point. So it was a risky move, but it worked out for them in the end. They managed to get the point. And it looks like they are going to be staying with this aura composition. Looks like they feel pretty comfortable with it. Ante has been, putting in numbers, as you can see from the stats card that were shown earlier. He's definitely putting in work. So now Team Speed Boost looks like CF wants to go towards the Sombra here. So either hacking the Diva or the Orisa, or oh my gosh.
Or the Pharah. I mean, that's a potential target.
Yeah.
But Kobe's going to be the one that gets it instead. No immortality fill can be used, and now Ante's going to have some pressure put on them. The High Noon comes through, but instead it's SpongeBob that manages to get the 2 kills with that. Dirt Master and Lord do fall. And that res as well means that Atria, they're still maintaining control of that bomb. Won't find too much here. And Speed Boost, they're trying to get in, they're trying to deal damage, but is it going to be enough? I mean, Ante is under a lot of pressure, but our Matrix doesn't burst him down in time.
That window is kind of Papega. A little bit, just a tiny bit. You get to build it up pretty quickly when you're dealing with this type of composition, but still, you could have really, really used that for this potentially last team fight coming in right here. Only 50 seconds less for Team Speed Boost to try to make something happen here, but Ante has another barrage, and if it's anything like the barrages he's been putting out in the second half of this map, then it's going to be massive.
That's a nice first kill, though, because it gets rid of the damage boost for the barrage. Ante's still going to go for it, though, but it gets Matrixed up and taken down. Lord hits that shot. And Speed Boost, they've got to play fast. They've got to live up to their name here because they need to get onto this card pretty shortly. They're going to play around this corner because Lord is on such low HP, but now they use the beat and try and get in their faces. Twisted going to use that bomb. SpongeBob, though, gets pooped off of the map. It's traded, however, and this might actually go in the favor of Atria here. Ante falls, but is it going to be enough? CF Man has an EMP that they could potentially use. Are they going to invest it? They probably don't need to here. Finally, the kills come through. Speed Boost will end up capping.
Yeah, thankfully some boops coming in from Dirt Master really did put in good work here, taking out SpongeBob before he was a threat in that extended team fight. And yeah, that pick onto Rar there is pretty massive because it means that the barrage no longer is safe to use in that situation. I mean, you see how immediately burned down Ante was. Looks like they're going to be sticking with it even on this third point where it's kind of less favored, I would imagine. It looks like CF is trying to go after the Mercy here once again.
Yeah, could even like solo EMP the Pharah, but no, that's going to be a huge 6-man EMP coming through. High Noon rains down upon them, shots just fired. And yeah, Speed Boost, they're already towards the ending. They just need to kill off any staggers that could potentially touch this cart, SpongeBob being one of them. No recontest whatsoever. A dominant final team fight there on their Icon Vault offense.
I think Atria had the right idea of sticking with the Pharah. It was definitely working for them. I mean, it whittled down the time bank all the way down to 44 seconds at the very end, but still Team Speed Boost managing to capture off of a great EMP that just sent them the other team packing. And now it is up to Atria. If they want any chance of winning this map, they have to complete now with at least a little bit of time remaining on their time bank, which may be easier said than done.
Absolutely. I mean, Icon Vault is never an easy map to play an attack or a defense on. It's very much dependent on the stylistic difference, right? I mean, you look at Speed Boost, they struggled on the second point because, well, they were playing Rush on second point. And the problem is, on Icon Vault, you have a lot of times where you might have to swap off. You get the second point with a lot of high ground, but then the third point where you're playing you're very close up. It's a map where it's constantly changing, the environment's constantly changing, and Speed Boost there, they couldn't adapt in time. Can Atria?
I will say that the one thing that was keeping Atria from really dealing with, or from really running away with the Pharah was Lord on the McCree on last round, and for this defense first point, he is going to be on the Reaper. So if Atria does decide to come out here with a Pharah composition, it is going to be harder for Team Speed Boost to, you know, to deal with it. It's going to be SpongeBob on the Pharah this time, though. It's interesting to see how they're switching things up for a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, a very good target to go on here would be Toby. Basically, no peel for them. That's a very tender target that Speed Boost need to try.
Looks like they're scouting it out immediately.
Straight in onto it, but I mean, there's nothing gained in this particularly, as Toby's playing so carefully. Almost a tick gains there, so Speed Boost have to try and rotate back to the point. Thankfully, the Diva was there, but Void will end up falling in all of the chaos, deserted by their team, left behind. And now SpongeBob will come around the outside, trying to kill off the enemy Reaper of Lord, who, like we said, isn't going to be able to do much against us far. SpongeBob's already coming up towards this barrage. So much damage just being rained in right now. Twisted almost has a bomb as well. Atria, they look like they're in control. They're going to start taking up a percentage on at that point. And Speed Boost, they've got to go for a very solid re-engage. Twisted does fall, so that's a very, very good start coming through for them, but SpongeBob might have to lay down the barrage. Going to go very close range for this one, but it doesn't get enough. So many players have fallen there for Atria, and Speed Boost, well, they came back into that with a vigor.
Yeah, I don't think at any point did Speed Boost lose a member before the 2 ticks were gotten. They just kind of backed away when they saw that control was given to Atria.
Yeah,
very smart play from them, and you know, SpongeBob had to try to commit the barrage in order to, you know, win the team fight, maybe get that last tick onto point, but it wasn't enough. Okay. Ryan is going to be close to mines here. That is going to be very good when dealing with this Winston composition that can't deal with mines too much. But Void, with the Coalescence, could counter it. He is going to be using it to engage right now.
That's very early, actually, and Antinate does come through onto Speed Boost, so they've got to play super carefully for now. Toby at least trying to make a difference, but Atria, they just got ran down there. Speed Boost living up to the name yet again. I've made this pun about 5 times in this cast now, but they are playing very fast.
It's not getting old. Not at all. Nah, it will never get old. But I mean, if you are a team that is, you know, playing Rush, you want to use the Coalescence very early. You don't want to let Atria get into a position where they can start to, you know, slowly whittle you down with their constant damage output. CF is going to be looking for a big EMP here. Couldn't catch 2 members, but the Reaper Blossom is going to be enough to finish it off. Reaper getting the 2 people that should be in the sky too, which is kind of impressive to me.
Yeah, they got EMP'd and sent down to the ground there by CF Man, so a very good combo coming through there.
Yeah, now Anti has a EMP of his own finally. That in combination with Mines could be good. Starting off with the Nano onto SpongeBob here to try to find some damage, hopefully turn this around, maybe get that last pick, and they're investing everything in this fight.
Void falls first again, but SpongeBob will end up just overextending ever so slightly. Ante is out of the fight and can't drop this EMP, so Ryan Vader might even fall so low on HP. Gets taken down there by Donut, chased up, and Ante, yeah, probably won't be using the EMP this fight. As Twisted invests the Diva Bomb, so trying to remech, but it's not going to come out with too much, as Dirtmaster does take out the enemy main support. A little bit of a main support diff there. And now we're into basically last fight territory.
I know that he was caught out early, but I'm kind of wondering why he didn't invest the EMP in there. Maybe he had a plan to use it, but then was caught out and then wasn't able to use it in coordination with the rest of his team. By the time he got back, he was already too late, and he just decided to keep it, which I guess is a fair game, but just find it funny that you decide to invest in everything and then EMP, one of the most important ultimates, isn't used. But now you can use it in combination with this barrage to try to find some value. Looks like they're going to try to do that, but SpongeBob
speak of the
down.
barrage. Yeah, a little bit too early on there from SpongeBob, a little bit too telegraphed as raw rolls have fallen. Yeah, Atria, without that damage, they cannot do a single thing. Lord is just going to walk forward, holding Mouse 1. Can also use the Death Blossom if they really want to, but who's going to touch anyway for Atria? Speed Boost taking the second map dominantly there, despite their attack. And Atria now, they're in a situation where they're going to have to try and reverse sweep this.
Yeah, definitely some good stuff coming out from Atria. Well, a little bit of a better showing, but ultimately on the attack, they could not get past the sheer speed and the boost from Speed Boost.
Yeah, that's like the 7th time now. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Honestly,
I had to get one in
I don't
there,
even
you know
blame
what I mean?
you.
I had
Yeah,
to
I
get
don't
one in
even
there.
blame you. I don't blame you because it like genuinely Speed Boost are impressing me with how fast they're playing for a team of this caliber, right? You usually don't see them making such like teams like this making such executive shot calls going in so quickly.
Yeah, and the aggression really is putting Atria on the back burner. You know what I mean? They want to be able to like take time to make decisions. All right, we're going to engage with EMP, and then we're going to barrage, and then put nano in and stuff like that. But like the aggression coming in and the raw damage and healing from Speed Boost is kind of causing them to panic a little bit and flub up some of these ultimate combos that they're trying to go for, unfortunately. But there is going to be one more map. Remember, it's a first to three, so Atria are not out of this series just yet. But for now, we are going to be taking a short little break here. Anything you want to say before the break?
Atria, do me proud and get a reverse sweep going.
Yes. Yes, that is exactly what we all want to see. But other than that, we will see you in just a little bit for more Overwatch.